Welcome back, guys, to Sit Stay Explore. Today I have a cool video for you on how to stop your dog from pulling on the lead. If that's the problem that you have, you're trying to train your puppy, this is a video for you. Don't look any further, and I promise you it's kind of a quick fix, so you're gonna want to watch. Let's go. Okay, so my guess is that you just got a dog, or you have had a dog for a long time and you're having this issue with your dog pulling on the lead. It's ripping your arm off, it's hurting, whatever it is, you're just tired of it and you want to fix it. So guess what? I have something just for you. Okay, the very first thing that you need, and it takes a little bit of acceptance, you need to get a head collar for your dog. Sometimes called a head collar or a head halter. It is something that fits over their snout, ties behind their head, like so. And then down here, you hook the leash on. So the snout's gonna be here, the head over here, and this is tying around the neck. We need to talk about some of the logic behind this and exactly why it works and why people swear by it. For some reason, I feel like there's a lot of people in the world who just don't think it's nice to do this to dogs. I promise you, it doesn't hurt. It's big enough for them to open their mouth and pant. They're not in pain whatsoever. It's purely mental that maybe you have a negative perception, or you may have a negative perception about this type of device. But I promise you, if this is the problem that you're trying to fix, this is the solution. I've seen people try different kinds of body halters, tying the leash on the front, on the chest. It doesn't all the way fix the issue. The only thing that I've realized really is like magic is this thing. I swear by it. I would buy it again and again and again. Good job, buddy. Okay, so it's very similar to a horse halter. If you've ever seen horse halters, they basically go over the face and it helps the rider control the horse more easily because what they're doing is maneuvering the head. Now think of a horse, right? Their body is super strong. Imagine if you put a strap or some sort of collar over their body and trying to control them with that. It's not going to work. Their body is extremely strong. They're on 4 legs. They have muscles. Depending on the size of your dog, my dog's only about 45 pounds, but if he decides that he wants to chase a squirrel when he's on the leash, it's going to pull my arm off. It's going to hurt. I've had a few moments where he really hurt my arm. So it's for his safety and it's for your safety. Okay, so what this is doing in theory is that it's helping you control their head. And if you control their head, you control their body. This is a saying that you might have heard before in dog training. Now you want to take the time to appropriately introduce this to your dog so that it's not associated with negative feelings. The sooner the better, the younger the better, but of course you can start this anytime. Okay, so like any trick or any new thing, dogs need to be acquainted to it slowly, gradually, and with positive reinforcement, positive emotions, so that they don't associate this with punishment or any type of negative feelings. Okay, so what you want to do is maybe just show it to them. Okay, get them to start putting it on their face. You know, it's going to go on their face. So the goal is to get them comfortable with it kind of touching their face, touching their nose. Good boy. One thing that I always like to do when it comes to these types of things is put the treat kind of through the hole, make him go through it. You have to go through it, buddy. There you go. Now notice he, by himself, put his nose through the HALTI to get a treat. So he's learning that the HALTI is associated with good things. And I would do this kind of again, you know, if you don't want to, I would never throw it on and just expect a miracle. You want to do this gradually, get him comfortable with it. You know, Shiloh is comfortable with it, so I'm going to go a little bit further. Good job. Okay, notice now it's just resting on his snout there. He's not bad, right? He's not bad. Yeah, good boy. That's good. Okay, go as far as tying it behind the head if you detect that they're comfortable when they're ready. Good job. When they do it, give them lots of praise. Good job. You want to teach them that this thing is positive and that they're going to get cookies, they're going to get rewarded for doing what you ask here. Good job. So, main thing to remember when you have this HALTI, okay, you want to make sure that their snout down here has enough space. Notice how if he wanted to, he could open his mouth fully and pick something up You can open it to pant. Really important. You don't want to be restricting your dog's breathing. Remember, dogs need to pant in order to cool down. So it's very important that the front part is wide enough for their snout to open, okay? Now back here, you want it to be relatively secure, not too tight. I would say maybe like enough to fit 2 fingers. You don't want to be slipping over the head or wiggling too much. And over the nose, it should be resting, buddy. Over the nose, it should be just comfortably resting on his snout like this, not too tight enough to leave a serious mark, okay? Now, the way you affix this, really important. You're not just going to attach your lead directly onto the front part. You need to secure it. So you're gonna have to get a neck collar. I'm not sure if you have a halter for your dog, but you're gonna need a neck collar because there's a safety mechanism to ensure that they're not gonna slip out of it, okay? So this black strap comes with the Headcollar. There's different brands, but most of them have this kind of security feature. And basically what you're doing with that is you're hooking this piece, okay, onto that little chin loop and the neck around the neck, okay? So basically what that's doing is that if in any situation they do somehow slip out of the nose harness, the nose harness is attached to the neck collar, which means that you'll never lose control of your dog. They're not going to be running off without you. So really, really important, guys. Make sure that you use the safety feature. I've seen people not use it and it's just a little risky, especially if your dog's a puller and that's the problem that you're trying to fix. You know, it's likely that they might slip out of it. So on Mr. Shiloh here, let's put his collar on like so. That's good. Okay, we're gonna so now his collar's on. We're gonna make sure the safety feature is clipped in correctly. So now everything's safe. He's happy. Let's give him a treat for reinforcement. Yes, we get paid for doing good things. Good boy, buddy, good boy. You're so cute. Look at the camera. Oh my God, that's a money-making face. All right, and your leash, right? Instead of hooking it onto your neck collar as maybe you would normally, you're gonna hook it onto the loop that comes at the end of the neck or head collar or head halter, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so notice now, if there is a little bit of pull on this, right, it's pulling his nose. Now, wherever the head goes, the body goes. So this is really your control here. Imagine when you're walking next, what's going to happen is if he does try to pull, it's going to force his nose towards you, which will be not what he wants. He wants to move forward. So in order for him to move forward, he's going to have to relax the leash a little bit, relax his pull in order to have a pleasant walk where he's walking forward. So that it's really mental. And I promise you, it is a money maker. Whenever we have taken several breaks from the HALTI because Shiloh has, he's kind of a slow walker. He's not a super fast walker and he's not the most pulley dog out there. He has his pulling moments, but he's not always pulling. So we take a break from the HALTI, but whenever I do put it on, I just feel like it's a magic walk. He walks like such an angel. My husband says the same thing. It's amazing. Especially when we get people to walk him, we always suggest that we use the HALTI because if he does see a squirrel or a dog that he wants to give some attitude to, you're gonna have way more control over this and you're not gonna get that arm yanking, unpleasant, he's taking you for a walk feeling. So I'd like to show you what this looks like walking a little bit together so you can see. Another tip that I want to mention also is the type of lead that you use on this apparatus, okay? You need to have a leash that is relaxed. I wouldn't recommend one that has kind of like the pull back automatic spring action, If you do use the spring action leash, you need to lock your leash and give it some slack, because if you have constant tension on this from the tension leashes, okay, then that means his walk is going to be entirely unpleasant because there's going to be pressure on this, pulling his head back to you, and that's not the point, okay? The point is to give him and you a relaxing walk. You do not need that pressure for this thing. So let's jump right in. I want to show you guys what that looks like. Shiloh's going to show off a little bit, right, Shiloh? Tell the people what you like. Speak. Yes, good job, buddy, good job. While they're gonna get used to the HALTI. At first, you're gonna notice they might be like rubbing their face or like maybe acting like they want to get it off. Do that. Try to give them a treat and reward them. Like I said, it might take some time to get them used to it, but after a while, your dog won't think that it's such a bad thing, and they get used to routine, right? Like most dogs. So don't worry about it. Keep going. Keep trying. And you'll notice a big difference. A quick video on how to stop your dog from pulling. I really hope it helps you. It has really helped me. So if you like this video, I ask you to please subscribe, like, and share, or comment down below what your experience is like, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later, guys. Good boy. Sit, stay. You don't hate the HALTI, do you? You don't hate it, right? Good job. Good job, buddy. So cute, handsome.